Hi everyone, welcome to another maths video by Maths with Sarah. So today we're going to be having a look at this question here. We've been given this pyramid and we've been told that each box is the sum of the two numbers below it. So we need to add up each of these numbers on the bottom to give us the number on the top. And we've been asked to fill in the two missing numbers. Okay, so maybe you could pause this video, have a little look at what you think the answers might be, see if you can work it out, and then come back to the video once you've had a chance to have a go at it and see how you get on. I'm going to go through it in just a second. Okay, so the first part of this question is we have got 2 and 3. So let's aim for this box here first. We'll call this the green box. The first two that we need to add up is, because we know that the sum means to add these two numbers together. So we need to do 2 3/4 plus 3 1/2. Okay, so let's draw this out then, because I always think that makes it a little bit easier. So if we've got 2 pizzas and the last one, we've got 3/4 of the pizza. So rather than having the full thing, we've just got 3/4 of it. It's a bit of a lopsided 3/4, but you get what I'm saying. We've just got 3/4 of it. And then the next part we want to add is 3 1/2. So we do the same thing. Got 1, 2, 3 1/2. Okay, so how are we going to add these two together then? So the easiest way I think of doing this is to add all the whole numbers first. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wholes, and then we've got a 3/4 and we've got a half. So if we take the 3/4 and we take the half, what we could do is split the 3/4 into quarters. So we have got 3 of these 3/4 and not the last one. Then the second one, we've got it in half at the moment. We could split that into quarters as well and say, well, actually, we've got 2/4 here. That's the same as a half. 2/4 is the same as a half. So now we can see that what we've actually got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarters. Alternatively, we could say, well, actually, why don't we put that quarter over there? If we move that quarter over here, we would have 1 quarter here. We'd have 1 whole and 1 quarter left over. That's the same as 5/4, which that makes it easier to deal with, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole pizzas, an extra pizza here, and then we've got the quarter here. So that gives us 6 wholes in total and 1 quarter. So you can write that in this box. You could, if you felt really comfortable, convert, so we can have 2 3/4. If you feel really confident looking at equivalent fractions, we can do 2 3/4 plus 3, and then we can change this. So like I said here, rather than having a half, we can say, well, this is the same as 2/4. We can have 3 2/4. If we add those two together, we're going to end up with 5 5/4. Remember what I was saying before about the fact that 5/4, that's above 1. We can't have that. So instead we can say, well, 1 is the same as 4/4. So we'll have 5 plus 4/4, that makes 6. And then we've also got 1 quarter left over. So that gives us 6 1/4. So just two different ways of working out the same question. Okay, what I'm going to do now is clear all this off. I'll clear it from the end first. And then I've got a bit of space to have a look at the next question, or the next part of this question, I should say. So the next one of this is, rather than, so we've done the adding, we've worked out what needs to go in the green box. Let's have a look at the orange box next. So we have got this box here is the next empty box. So we've got 2 3/4 on the top, but we've been told that whatever's in this box plus whatever's in this box adds to equal that. So we have got something missing in the orange box, plus 1 1/4 is equal to 2 3/4. So we need to add something here to this to end up with this. So let's draw them out again. I always think that's a good way of visualizing it. So we've got 1 1/4. I'm going to move these actually so I've got a little bit more space. We've got 1 1/4. And then here we've got 2 and 3/4. So we'll just deal with the quarters now. So this one, if we cut it into 4, so we cut it into completely into quarters. We've only got one of those, we haven't got all of them. And then this last one, again, we've got 3/4 of this. We've got this quarter, and this quarter down here. Oops, I've run out of lines completely there. Oh, well, there we go. You can hopefully see what I'm trying to do. We've got 3/4 here, 1/4 here, and then we've got these others here. So we need to work out what do we need to add on to this one to get to this one. So we've got one whole. We're going to need another whole. So we need another whole one at least to give us that whole one there. And then this one, we've only got 1/4, whereas this one, we've got 3/4. So we then also need to add on 2/4. Now, if we cut this into quarters, we'll add this one and this one. We can see that rather than this being 2/4, it's actually the same as having a half. So what we can write here is we know that we need to do, if we got the 1 here, we've got one whole one, and then we've got this half here. And we can check that we've got the answer right. So we can add these two together and check that it does equal this end bit here. So here we've got 1 plus 1 is 2, and then we've got 2/4 plus 1/4 gives us 3/4. So we can be pretty sure that we have got the right answer. If you're struggling with these types of fraction questions, so you're struggling with adding, subtracting fractions, you're struggling with thinking about 2/4 being the same as a half, I really encourage you to have a look on my Etsy page, because I have a load of different like activities, dominoes, mix and match, sort of different fun little tasks that you can do to help you with your fractions.